welcome back to Sailor March Madness. Now we all know that if there's a good anime out there, there's bound to be movies too. Sailor Moon's no exception with 3 movies of her own. All 3 are pretty simple, so let's just talk about them in one review. The first movie to come out was Sailor Moon R, Promise of the Rose, and it focuses on the one character who needs more attention, Tuxedo Mask. Finally! It starts off in Mamoru's childhood where he must say goodbye to a friend who has to leave. Aw, look at that, he's giving him a rose. I'd say gay, but it's Tuxedo Mask, the king of roses. In the present day, his old friend Fiore returns to be with his best friend in the entire universe, Mamoru. Naturally, Mamoru doesn't remember him or the fact that he's an alien. Whether he's related to An and Ao, we'll never know. Well, this so-called friend of Mamoru's plans on covering Earth with Cassimian flowers. These flowers come from this living corsage called the Cassimian Blossom, an alien flower who possesses a young soul and makes them carry out her duties to cover a planet with flowers and blow them up. Damn! These flowers can blow up planets. Maybe there is something behind Tuxedo Mask's roses. Sailor Scouts step in to fight Fiore, but in the middle of battle, Tuxedo Mask gets mortally wounded. This startles Fiore since he didn't want his best friend to get hurt, so he takes him away to treat his wounds. Tracking the Cassimian's power to the meteor that's just outside of Earth, the Sailor Scouts use the Sailor Teleport to get to the base where Tuxedo Mask is being held. Naturally, Fiore is prepared and floods the Sailor Scouts with a wave of flower monsters. Just when it seemed hopeless, Tuxedo Mask breaks from his crystal prison and strikes Fiore in the chest with a rose. I'm scared of the rose powers now. Fiore is crushed by his betrayal, so he decides to crash the meteor to Earth. Sailor Moon rises to stop him with her Imperial Silver Crystal, but whoa! He just grabbed her in the boobs! I know he was aiming for the crystal, but damn! That's some forceful molesting there. Somehow Usagi is not fazed by this and tells Fiore more about Mamoru's past. Apparently, when Usagi was little, she met with Mamoru in the hospital where her baby brother was being delivered. She had a bouquet of roses for her mom, so to cheer up Mamoru, she gave him one of the roses. That very rose was the same rose he gave to Fiore on the day he left. Man, he should be upset that he got a second-handed last-minute present from this so-called best friend, but he seemed touched by her words. Her silver crystal then forms into a flower-shaped crystal, which causes Fiore to cry and gain his consciousness. This means the Cassimian Blossom has a host no more, and she is destroyed by the crystal. The meteor is heading closer to Earth, so Sailor Moon transforms into Princess Serenity to use the crystal. Tuxedo Mask transforms into Endymion, and the Sailor Scouts give Serenity their powers to help stop the meteor. With their combined powers, the meteor is led away from Earth, but then BAM! All that power was too much for Serenity to handle, so the crystal breaks and she is dead. The Scouts are in tears and Mamoru is in shock, holding his beloved Usagi dead in his arms. Just when all hope seemed lost, Fiore's spirit approaches Mamoru and thanks him for setting him free. In return of their kindness, he offers them a flower that can bring Sailor Moon to life. This transaction will kill Fiore, but at least he'll be able to save his new friend. Aww, he wasn't so bad after all. Mamoru gives the kiss of life and Sailor Moon is revived. Earth is safe and everyone is happy. Oh yeah, Chibiusa was in this thing too. Well, this was a cute movie with a cute story. It's nice for Tuxedo Mask to be in the spotlight for once, but then there's the question for Fiore. Did he have feelings for Mamoru? The way he held his hand and the way he treats women and the fact that he searched the universe to find a beautiful flower for him. Nah, I'm sure it's just guy love. And then there's this question, if this was to be placed in the series, where would it fit? You have a bad guy who looks like An and Ao, but you also have Chibiusa before she returns to the future for the first time. If I had to guess, it had to be during the time when Emerald was in charge, since Mamoru and Usagi would have to still be in love with each other in order to make this movie. Like, the day after Mamoru and Usagi get back together and Emerald decides to take a day off. That's somewhat possible, I guess. The next movie was called Sailor Moon S, Hearts and Ice. This story focuses on Luna falling in love, but with an astronomer. Poor Artemis. During the Christmas holiday, an alien entity approaches her to make it a part of her icy collection. She doesn't really have a name, but she hears the name Princess Snow Kaguya and she likes it enough to take it, so we're just gonna call her Kaguya. This is the second time she's tried to take Earth since Queen Serenity stopped her for the first time. She sends off pieces of her comet to spread her power, but wouldn't you know it, an astronomer named Kakeru obtains one of the pieces, preventing her from moving on with her plan. In the city, the girls are hanging out eating some good takoyaki when they notice Luna feeling ill. She decides to head home to rest, but has a little trouble along the way and almost gets hit by a car. Luckily, Kakeru was on the scene and rescues her. He takes her home to take care of her, leaving the gang to wonder where Luna went. While Luna rests at his place, she meets a female astronaut about to take a trip into space named Himeko. Kakeru loves her very much, but his absent-minded behavior tends to make things awkward. He may be a man of science, but he also believes in beings in space like the Princess of the Moon. This has made him a laughingstock in the science world, and Himeko to question their relationship. You know, you'd think they believe in him since there's a celestial hero saving them every day. Back in the city, the gang's looking for Luna as they are attacked by snow dancers. And it's not just the Inner Scouts that are involved. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are in this fight as well. Sailor Moon and Chibi Moon team up to fight when all of a sudden, Santa Claus saves them. Just kidding, it's Tuxedo Mask making the best entrance ever. I remember seeing that for the first time, and I couldn't stop laughing. Luna returns home, but she often takes secret trips to see her human crush, Kakeru. With every trip, she notices how his health keeps diminishing for some strange reason. It turns out that the comet piece he found is slowly draining his life. One night, Kaguya finds the comet piece in his home and takes it. This is the part where Kakeru mistakes her as the Princess no Kaguya, and she is called that ever since. Now that she has the piece, she builds her ice fortress, and gives the world the coldest weather in history. The Sailor Scouts step in to fight her, but once again, they're overwhelmed with the Snow Dancer army. Meanwhile, Kakeru is struggling to warn Himeko not to go into space or she might get killed during this fight. She's in space now, it's kinda too late, buddy. He faints during the snowstorm and Luna runs to his side and tries to save him. Push comes to shove, so Sailor Moon summons her Imperial Silver Crystal to defeat the Snow Queen. In true movie fashion, all of the Sailor Scouts circle around her to lend their strengths, and they form a light-up power cone. It's like a Sailor Moon Christmas tree! Using the crystal's power, Sailor Moon is able to defeat Kaguya and is somehow able to grant Luna her wish. For the first time and only time in Sailor Moon anime history, Luna turns human. She turns into a beautiful maiden of the moon and calls herself Princess no Kaguya to Kakeru. She flies him above the earth and around the moon, making all of his dreams come true. Hi, Himeko! Believe me now? Luna then tells Kakeru to return Himeko's love and sends him off with a kiss. The earth is saved, Himeko and Kakeru get together, and Artemis is there to give Luna some cuddles. Aww, they're gonna have a kitten one day. I love this movie since it's based on the final chapters of the Sailor Moon manga before the Super S saga began. The only thing that kinda bugs me is the villain being nameless. What's your name? I like Kaguya. Good for you, honey. Where would this fit in the anime? It had to be after they retrieved the Holy Chalice, but before the S season ended since Pluto was still there and they still have the Chalice. So during Christmas break, the Deathbusters decided to take a holiday trip. It can happen. The final movie is called Sailor Moon Super S Black Dream Hole. I'm just gonna leave that alone. All around the world, strange tune plays in the night, lurking children away from their homes. Leaving it alone, they are led into the dream ships that take them away into the sky. Meanwhile, the girls are making cookies. Oh, how fun. Chibiusa makes a special batch for Mamoru and is on her way to give the cookies to him when she meets a boy with wings. Like I said, she makes interesting friends. His name in English is Pararu, and to me looks a little bit like Helios' little brother. Anyways, this is yet another friendship Chibiusa forms that'll later benefit her. Later that night, the mysterious music is played, and Chibiusa becomes one of the kids taken away in the night. Diane wakes Usagi up to rescue Chibiusa, which she is able to do with a good spanking. The Sailor Scouts follow the children that are being led to the sky ships where they meet Poupalon. Nice name there. With his flute, Poupalon is able to control the children as well as summon these candy demons called Bonbon Babies. God, these things are creepy! The Scouts transform and try to fight off these babies, but then they are led away with an illusion that turns into a cutesy chibi party in a candy house. Oh, kawaii! Thankfully, Tuxedo Mask steps in to help them. He also gets his ass handed to him, and believe me, it's a miracle this guy can still walk. Why does this anime hate him? Things get out of hand when they're suddenly assisted by Pararu. It turns out he's Poupalon's younger brother, and through Chibiusa's friendship, he suddenly thinks their mission is terrible. By God, Chibiusa, you've yet again saved the world through your friendship. How do you do it? The ringleader of this group finally shows up and presents herself as Queen Badianu. She gives the orders to stop messing around and continue the mission, so the Bonbon Babies attack some more, Chibiusa gets carried away onto the ship, and the enemy escapes. Pararu doesn't want anything bad to happen to Chibi Moon, so he takes the Sailor Scouts onto his ship and flies them into Badianu's dream city in the sky. Badianu lures Chibi Moon to her and reveals her plan. Of course! It's in the villain's handbook. By using the energy from children's dreams, she can create a black dream hole. Leave it alone! With this power, she can encase everyone on Earth in coffins where they will remain in their dreams for all of eternity. You want humans of Earth to sleep in peaceful dreams for what reason? I mean, how does she benefit from this? She reveals to Chibiusa that she needs her powers to bring the dream hole to its maximum powers. Of course it's Chibiusa, the girl with the purest heart and the purest dream. The scouts make their way to the Dream City where they're stopped by a Poupillon and his two henchmen, Banane and Orangite. Very creative. They summon up more Bon-Bon babies to attack when all of a sudden the outer scouts arrive in the scene. I'm gonna argue on that logic later. They find out that the source of their powers is their flutes, so naturally they attack the flutes. One by one, their flutes are destroyed and they turn into birds. The scouts find Badianu, who reveals that the dream hole is near completion and uses Chibiusa to complete its powers. The dream hole is complete and Badianu takes Chibiusa inside the hole. The other scouts are left pinned to the ground, but Sailor Moon finds a way inside the dream hole. She finds Chibiusa and tries to make a run for it until she is led into an illusion. She thinks that she's back in Mamoru's apartment and his health is back to normal. It all seems real until Usagi asks him, "Who's more important, me or Chibiusa?" Mamoru says, "You, of course." And we all know Mamoru never takes sides when it comes to these two, so she knows it's a dream and she is able to wake up from it. Usually the other girls would take advantage of this sexy situation, but hey, it's Sailor Moon. Badianu attacks her non-stop and she cries out to the other Sailor Scouts. They lend her their powers, causing Chibi-Moon to wake up, and together, Sailor Moon and Chibi-Moon use the ultimate Moon Gorgeous meditation to destroy the Black Dream Hole. The city is crumbling, but thankfully, Peru is able to get every children onto the dream ships and escorts everyone back to Earth. Earth is saved, the children return home, and Peru leaves to protect the dreams of children from now on. Not that we don't already have someone on the job for that. This movie was beautifully animated and was the most creative movie compared to the first two. However, unlike the other two, this movie cannot simply fit in with the anime for one good reason: the Outer Scouts coming in to fight out of nowhere. For one thing, Sailor Moon and the Inner Scouts made their way via flying boat and struggled to get in. You three, obviously proven in Sailor Moon as just how badass you are, just pop up out of nowhere to help. It makes no sense. The other thing is the fact that Pluto is there. She is supposed to be missing ever since that explosion in Sailor Moon S and doesn't return until Stars when she has Hotaru. When she appears in Stars, Uranus and Neptune are shocked to see her. In this movie, it's like nothing happened. If anything, this will fit better in the manga before Hotaru regains her teen form and Eternal Sailor Moon is born. Other than the continuity issues and the sick jokes she can put in there, Super S the movie was a charming movie. There you go, 3 movies in a nutshell. They're all very good and worth seeing if you're interested in the Sailor Moon franchise. They may have some continuity issues, but it doesn't mean that they're bad, so go ahead. Check out Sailor Moon R, Promise of the Rose, Sailor Moon S, Hearts and Ice, and Sailor Moon Super S, The Black Dream Hole. I'll make your jokes, I don't care. Hope you liked this review. For more updates on Anime America projects, just go to our Facebook page and like us. If you wish to support our production by purchasing our merchandise, just go to cafepress.com/Anime America Podcast. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned to Anime America.